Alright, so the Four Agreements book, pages 10, 11, 12, 13, and part of 14. Let's see. So it starts going into like basically talking about judgment and guilt and shame and this thing called Book of Law, which is basically what leads to judgment and punishment. And I guess something that stuck out the most was there were two things. So one, I think, is what Jamie Messina mentioned the other day. It says on page 12, the human is the only animal on earth that pays 1,000 times for the same mistake. And talking about how different people in our lives treat us differently for mistakes we've made in the past, as well as how we treat ourselves about those mistakes, and how it can basically create like this belief system. I guess the part that I liked on my own that I'd never heard before was on page 13, when it said 95% of the beliefs we have stored in our minds are nothing but lies, and we suffer because we believe all these lies. Kind of talking to kind of how people blame themselves and judge themselves about anything that was wrong. You know, we keep on, because of our powerful memories, just continually reminding ourselves about all the mistakes, all the things that went wrong. They talk about other people like remembering those mistakes too, and doing something what's called to us emotional poison, like kind of like how someone reacts like out of anger or fear about something you've done in the past against them negatively. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of, in psychology, how there's the concept of CBT, in cognitive behavioral therapy. There is this process where, you know, you're starting by identifying kind of what's going on and just kind of being able to observe the issues of distress and kind of patterns along the line of like what happened, what was the precipitating event that made this distress occur, and what is the distress that occurred with the event. And I guess, you know, how did you think, how did you feel, how did you react because of it, and what is your core belief surrounding this. And I feel like people have the hardest time, it seems like, with the core beliefs, not so much with the stuff in the beginning of like what happened, how I react how I felt or whatever, and then the end result of like how I actually reacted, or what I actually did. Did I avoid the person? Did I lash out at the person? Did I start crying? Did I, you know, just laugh it off? Like, what did I actually do? And, you know, the core beliefs are kind of the part that kind of sustains the situation. So there can be one situation that happens, but you can remember that situation for years, right? And the core beliefs will continue about a person, like what they tell themselves about themselves because of that situation. And it's not usually super conscious. Like, some of it's very surface level, and a lot of it's kind of a level under that, where it's like, you know, there's something else that makes a person like avoid someone, or, you know, slack off with something, or procrastinate, or, you know, the things that we tell ourselves, but it might not be so active like obviously telling ourselves things. It might just be something that seems like I'm subtly not able to get past a certain hurdle, and usually it's because of some kind of core belief that we don't really actively spend a lot of time telling ourselves. And so that's it for those pages. It's late. I don't want to be recording too late, but it's nice to kind of read at night too. I do like reading in the evenings, so it's nice to kind of read at night too. So yeah, I might continue that. I'm listening to an audiobook at night, which I don't think is a good idea because I actually really like the book. But yeah, alright guys, that's it for those pages. Just short and sweet. I don't want to compare everything to psychology, but there is a lot of similarity and overlap with those concepts there on this topic. But yeah, alright,